Our next presentation is by Xingyun Wang 老师. So her talk is about learner-centered Chinese cultural project, integrating GRR and 5Cs with AI-supported instructional design. Okay, so without further ado, please.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Xingyun Wang Xingyun. Today I'm going to present the topic Learner-Centered Chinese Culture Projects, integrating GRR and 5Cs with AI-supported instructional design. So I'm very thankful that actually, first of all, I want to mention about I can be here today is really because I can join this great Startalk program. And also, Professor Jen nicely just told me about this opportunity so that I can send out my proposals. And later on, I'm going to use this as an example about GRR as well. Okay, so I'll talk about that later. So, so as we can see, my topic is student-centered. So first of all, I think we need to know our students well enough so that we know how to help them to learn better. And as for culture, not only like culture, I feel is very important because usually as a Chinese teacher, we not only teaching culture, language, but also the culture. I would like to say this can be go hand in hand. And integrating GRR is gradual release, responsibility, and 5Cs. Later, I'm going to show you the pictures about this intertwined situation, like how we can implement them better in our lesson planning and teaching activities. Okay, so I am very blessed to be able to attend Startalk because when I first joined this one, starting from like about 3-4 years ago, I don't know what Startalk's 6 principles. And they are so helpful for me. And I also don't know what are the 3 modes of communication. And I also don't know what is backward design, something like that. But since I can join this whole year program with Professor Jen and teacher Henny, I can have a lot of opportunity to practice this. And throughout the years, I have been using this, apply this a lot, which helped me a lot, not only as a weekend church Chinese teacher, but also a teacher for a private and online public school, high school teacher. Okay. So I will just read very quickly about these 6 principles. The first one, implementing standards-based, the thematical organized curriculum. And this is kind of complicated for me to learn as well, but I checked for information. It can be related to the backward design and the can-do statements. And the second one, conducting performance-based assessments. It's more like presentation for students and kind of like me, what I'm doing right now. And the third one, integrating of culture, content, and languages. This kind of like what we have been doing, the great content, language, culture. And the number 4 would be utilizing target language and providing comprehensible input for instruction. I would just say that's comprehensible input and output. Now, how we can expose our students with enough input, and then they can be feel comfortable to give us the output. And that would be like presentational communication, or can apply in 3 modes of communication. And number 5, facilitating a learner-centered classroom. And also the projects. That's what I'm trying to mention about too. And number 6, adapting and using age-appropriate authentic materials. So this can relate to knowing our students well and their level as well. And mention about the culture. I would like to let teachers look at this picture and take a look of the service culture. Can some of you use the annotate or use the chat box to try to write about what do you think would be service culture and what can we do introduce the topics as a teacher for our students. And if you like, you can also mention about your students' level or age, or how long they have been learning Chinese. Okay. So for the first service culture, may I have teacher try to use annotate to type, or just type in the chat box? What do you think? What do you think some topic or something we can share with our students can be service culture? Let me see if any teacher already respond. Give me the answer. Not yet. May I have any teacher kind of share what do you think can be a service culture? Like a service on the top, not under the ocean water, a kind of shallow one. We can see, obviously we can see. And anyone? 有吗? Anyone can share? 好, finally I got one. Okay, dates, food, and activities. Great, 谢谢 thank you. 这个 Jessica, appreciate that. 对，你对了, you are right about that. So as Chinese teacher, I like to teach about food. Chinese New Year festival, right? Mid-autumn festivals, and eating the cake. And this year, I also last year actually, let them made a fusion cake using the Oreo, smash them, and use a mold with the mooncake shape to make the fusion cake for them. And we don't need to bake, we can just eat right away. So you are right about that. These kind of products are usually the surface. Okay. And we have the expert to tell us more about what are they. I can let you see the next one. Yeah, food, dress, music, visual arts, drama, crafts, dance, literature, language, celebration, games. Okay. So the deeper ones are like in the middle, unspoken rules, like can be emotional level, can be higher than the service one. And the unconscious rule level can be like more emotional level, can be even more intense. Okay. And I can let you see, this can be like too detail oriented. As a teacher, I would like to show you like easier one to see too. So under the ocean, the sea, we can see, okay, something like different thing like leadership, decision making, nonverbal communication, problem solving, just different things, social interaction, emotion, or like how we carry our self with different roles. Okay, so this I think can be good idea for me and maybe for some other teachers to think about when we introduce culture. What kind of topic we can introduce to our students? Okay. And then this is what I did before, like try to understand what are the 3 P's for the culture. So the most easy one we usually introduce to our students be products, books, foods, tools, something like this. And then the practice, like patterns of social interactions, and perspectives, I would say is a higher level, meanings, values, ideas, beliefs, and attitude. And the next one tell us about what the products, how we do them, and why we doing them. Okay, that's about culture. And then here, I would also like to mention about gradual release responsibility. This traditionally instructors, we like to talk, we like to teach, we want to give them a lot of instructions, right? But as a teacher, we know student center is so important because just like Bloom proximity, like we can learn more by applying them or even by teach. Like such as when we need to prepare this presentation, I need to prepare so that I can share with you. And so similar concept can apply to my students. So when I give them enough input, I would want them to be able to present in the end as assessment. And it can be a good cycle too. So I do it, we do it, you do it together, and you do it alone. So the projects I'm going to share with you is more like my student do it alone, but not really alone, but like cooperate with their students, with their classmates together, 2 by 2 or the maximum 3 students in a group. Okay, and for this kind of pattern, doesn't need to be follow the rules all the way like in this order. Actually, we can adjust the order as well, because sometimes we can throw something to them, like I can just let them know, okay, after 2 months, I want you to do these projects. I can show this on Canvas, can let them see the criteria, what they should do, and then they can work on their own and have some ideas. But gradually, I will just give them some input or some ideas so that they can throughout working together, they can have more idea in the end. They can present better, like scaffolding as well. Okay, and then for my students, so for this one, I would like to say like the student background with 12th graders, seniors going to graduate, private school, high school, in-person class, and their level is F4 intermediate mid. And we can see like lower level, the topics they can talk about are familiar ones and not so broad. But the higher level is very hard to easily get higher because it should be so broad, okay? And then I didn't teach them the first 3 years. I'm just a part-time teacher for them, so I only teach them the last year. So they can present information with familiar topic using connected sentences, or even like a little paragraph, developing confidence in using cultural content in presentational and interpersonal text, and also like interpreted information well. And eager to apply Chinese language skill in creative, meaningful ways. They can do that well too. Okay, that's my students. Okay, and then I also like to mention about 5 C's, as we can see from these 5 C's, like cultures, connections, comparison, communities, and communication. And communication kind of intertwine with our interpretive communication, interpersonal communication, and presentational communication. And the format can be interpreted reading, listening, like listening to the broadcast from a train station, or reading a sign. And then interpersonal, like if unrehearsed, cannot practice in advance, spontaneous, right away, can be reading, writing, listening, speaking. And presentational, like what I'm doing, speaking, and also support with visual, and you are the presenter, but you kind of like being the interpreter now because you are trying to understand what I'm sharing with you, right? Okay, and also these are like the relational one, like deeper, kind of a more thing like we can see. Okay, and then the next one, I would like to share the projects I want my students to do. I put this on Canvas. Okay, so I use the Go Far Chinese, and they have very good projects, presentational projects already. The main thing is for them to introduce Chinese culture, okay? And then they can also choose their own topic. But I just do some tweak about I would like them to do some fundraising by doing this culture thing, presenting, such as promoting their clubs, like school clubs, and they can do some fundraising in the school setting and kind of relate to their real life. It's really doable for them. So they can just not only use their imagination, but they can really apply this, make this a real thing in the campus. Okay, and then on the final project presentation, I say if you choose to do oral presentation live during the class with bilingual poster, please bring it to the classroom. But mention about student center, I give them the options, but they just have their own idea to choose what they feel better. So I let them have the option to do live in a classroom, or they can pre-record it. And guess what they did? All of them. Can you guess what did they choose? all my 13 students, what did they choose for this project? They all choose recording. They want to do the recording. Okay, why? I kind of get that because life, if they look at the pinyin, they may have some deduct points. But if they do the recording, I may not be able to see them well, but I still can kind of see how they are doing by they need to have their videos on. Okay, but anyway, later on I can deal with this later because in the future I can also decide, okay, they won't have the choice to do live or recording. They can only do live after this. Okay, so we can adjust to that. Okay, so student center element choose have the ownership. They choose recording good, but actually they bear the consequences as well because when they do a recording to be good, to earn good points, they may end up spending more time to prepare for this and do the recording, and which is not a bad thing for me because they practice more, they record more times. There's a student especially told me he spent so many hours to do this just a few minutes presentation. But as a teacher, if they are okay to do that for their schedule, I'm happy to see they can practice more. Okay, for these presentational communication projects. And also, they can choose their own partners. Okay, so like student center and choose their own topics. And earlier I mentioned about GRR, gradually release responsibility. So from the beginning, I give them this project first. They can think about that for quite a time to do that, and then choose their topics as they like. But if they have any questions, welcome to come to me. Okay, and later, later, I didn't choose first, but I wait for a while, and later then I introduce deeper or more broader topics they can talk about for Chinese cultures. Okay, so provide them the Chinese holidays for your references, like kind of information in more details, deeper, not just Chinese New Year celebration, not just making the dumplings or eating dumplings, something like that. Okay, so that's the tweak about gradually release responsibility because I didn't explore first and then I support more because I want to see throughout the 3 years and how they have been exposed to Chinese culture and what they feel comfortable to present for the senior year. And then I provide them with more deeper, broader cultures and see if they choose to take my references to explore more different cultural topics to talk about. And then use the following worksheet to work with your group first. This I just give them more details about what they can do and also something like supporting ideas, sentence structures, and vocabularies like scaffolding as well. And then I also give them some hint about how to do a good presentation and how they can practice to make it better. Okay, and this is the original form of the events I can get from Go for Chinese. It's the presentational ones. And for me, I also like to let students do the have the rubric to work on. And this is a good example about how I can use AI to generate good rubric for me. I give the AI ChatGPT the ideas, and I have some books and good, or we can search online some good like rubrics, right? Nowadays so convenient, but I give AI the guidance and I got this one. And of course I also spend time to edit it well so that it can be like what I want, what I like. So students have the very clear guidance so that they know why they have the points in the end. And for students, seniors, they care about scores a lot. So they really appreciate that. And with this, I can use this as guideline for them to know the grades and also some reflection as well. Okay, so mention about GRR, gradually release responsibility. I would like to mention about like go back to what I want to mention about like I am very thankful like Professor Jen 教授, like she let me have this opportunity to share. And I would like to go back to the first year when I and also other teachers with her. She's our mentor, and we just focus on student center. And Professor Jen, she nicely just encouraged us to be the presenter together with her in a official conference that I never been to before. That's my first very official one. And so Professor Jen, she did a very good example about GRR because she did that together with us. And today I would be able to do it by myself. It's not perfect, but it's quite encouraging for me. So I would like to thank Professor Jen for this great GRR, gradual release responsibility practice that personally make to me and as an example. Thank you very much. Okay. And then I would like to give you some examples in the end, what my students choose. They say, oh, they have 中国俱乐部 Chinese club, and they can earn money by the raffle tickets, and they will provide the food, the drinks. They can make the drinks, and some even choose the Ghost Festival because they learned Halloween before. And I also introduced Halloween to them. And when she did this, I also did the group know, okay, you can also make some comparison with your Halloween culture. How about that? And students also like my points. Okay, so that's a comparison as well. And then some still want to do the traditional one, like Chinese New Year and the food and what they can do. And before this projects, I also teach them the Chinese song like The Moon Represent My Heart, okay, and made the fusion mooncake. And the represent 代表, I'm happy, even though I didn't mention about they can use that specifically, only give them a hint. But some students, they managed to use the song lyrics, 代表 represent, like the noodles represent longevity, the dumpling represent fortune, something like that. So I'm happy, like even though it's a gradually they can just integrate in their presentation. I'm happy to see that as a teacher. And then some students, like boys, they did, especially boys, they like to do the martial arts. But this group, what they are different about is like, because I say if they have good creativity and they can have some extra points. And these boys, like three boys together, they just say, oh no, we're not going just want to do the recording. We want to because I want them to watch this together. So they watch this together during the class, the pre-recorded video. And then they also in the end they just teach the whole class the Chinese Kung Fu. And all of the classmates, the rest of them are very happy to learn some Kung Fu with them. And of course, to encourage them, I give them some extra points. So that's the good part about you can just give them the guidance about what I'm looking for, like creativities and like something like that. So they know what they can perform and to make it even better. Okay. And then for reflection, I would just, when they are listening to the recording, I also let them do the like peer evaluation. So for the, I didn't show that, but this is kind of like a personal reflection for them. So this is a personal reflection. They can just choose to let me know what do they learn, and also give me some points about how do they cooperate with their partner together. So group collaboration, preposition practice, content organization, and the use of conjunction words. And sometimes American students, they can be very confident. They just feel they did great. So a lot of them like choose 5 out of the highest grade. And then also give them some chance to answer questions like reflective questions and to give me as a teacher a reference. And they can also think about what have they learned, such as what did your group do well in presentation? What could your group improve on your future presentation? What do you personally contribute to the group success? And what challenges did you face during the projects? And what did you enjoy most about these projects? I'm glad to see some of them feel they can choose their own topic, can work with their good friends. They're happy about that. And some mentioned about they can learn more Chinese culture and practice speaking. Okay, so these are the conclude of my presentation, and we still have about 5 minutes for Q&A. If teachers, you have any questions, feel free to talk or just type. Thank you. 谢谢。
So great. This is a lot of information to digest. Thank you, Wang 老师.
Thank you. Thank you.
Please open your mic and ask questions or share comments, your experience, and join the discussion. So those who responded now online in the chat box, now you have a particular group for raffle drawing. So, Zhou Changhong 老师, could you please show the slide 4? Thank you.
Slide
So,
4.
yeah,
Okay,
what would you like to learn, 周老师?
Slide 4, this one. Oh, okay. Iceberg concept of culture.
So, do you have questions, 周老师?
没有问题，只是要想仔细的读一下那个下面的东西 ，iceberg 下面的。
好，I see another question. You are
Yeah. So
Thank you
people
so
are
much.
grateful for your presentation.
Thank you so much. I didn't write that down. I just have some thoughts and talk about that. So I think kind of on and off, not so fluently. I'm trying. Yeah, hopefully it's not too like everywhere. Yeah.
So you have shared with us a lot of information. So looking at back your journey, and how much you have grown since you started teaching, right? So, what are the advice you could give to our listeners, audience today? So your big takeaway, lesson learned or success. Well, you share with us a lot of success stories, but what would be your advice?
I would just say if we can still have Startalk training for teachers, go ahead and register. But I just don't know. This year I don't see any. But hopefully in the future years we can still continue to have Startalk teachers training because these are so helpful for me. And from this solid training, I can lay a good foundation to know Startalk 6 principles and 3 modes of communications. What are backward design? And from the beginning, I really don't know them well. But I've been attending not only the first year. Actually, personally, I continue to attend Startalk training. So by repeating, knowing these principles and practice, and also doing some real teaching in my real classroom, no matter in person or online, just keep on doing them, then I think we can get gradually better. And each students are different. Each year are different, but I feel personally I like to learn. I feel I like to be a lifelong learner if possible, but AI have the benefit about keep on learning. As human beings, I just feel teacher is a good job because I feel I need to keep on learning so I can have more things to give back or apply to my students. So I just feel keep on learning, especially now we have AI to use. It's very convenient to learn. Yeah, but I just definitely want to say, apply what we have learned from Star Talk, and feel free to ask questions if you don't understand, and apply. And also attend a lot of teachers' seminars can be helpful too, because when teachers, professors, not me, I'm not so like higher level at all. I'm just a starter, but a lot of just professors, they just have so much good ideas and experience. We can learn a lot from listening and attending seminars, like teachers seminars or conferences.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much, Wang Lao
Thank you so
for
much.
sharing with us your insight. So never stop learning, continuing improving. Not
Yes.
just only Startalk, there will be many other opportunities. I think the government canceled the Startalk program. In the near future, we'll not have any Startalk teacher program, but I'm sure there will be others available, and we'll just continue working on improving our teaching and student learning. Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I see there's infant raise her hand.
It's Yingfang, Yo Yingfang. So I'm very emotion lesson 3 teacher so far because it's kind of remind me because it's so touching because I'm same like you, especially the Wang Lao Shi, that I'm from the beginning and I didn't know any idea about the 5C in the beginning. And when I registered, I remind me that it's already 10 years I attend the Toledo's program. So definitely I agree with Wang Lao Shi. So I hope our program can continue and can be set up kind of like a mentor and mentees that to help each other is really very appreciated. And then I know that's a lot of words, your presentation and all the words you to your students, then we can see very well, and then remind us what we learned in the past, and it's a very good refreshing for us. So my question is to Wang Lao Shi, all your students, are you teaching in online or in person?
Okay, the project I mentioned about is a private high school.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, this is a private high school students. Yeah. I think they're Chanting or anyway, this is in person. Personally, I feel I'm the teacher for private school in person as a part-time, and also teach online for public high school in the United States. But personally, by teaching in person, I feel especially like something like this is more doable for in-person teaching, even though I see the benefit of doing online, such as like we can just get together like this and can share our opinions together.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm asking this question is because in the past I taught in Chinese traditional school the weekend that Chinese school. Then after that, after I attend the Startalk, then I have opportunities to go to the public school. And because the number of enrollments is decreased, so the school board decide to shift to online programs. So go to your companies, right? Approximate.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's why I'm asking that because those is kind of like personal. And then right now I'm teaching online. All my students the same in the public school and the students sitting in the classroom. I'm teaching them from home. So the same thing I want to emphasize that what I learned, I would appreciate for the startup because from the beginning, I didn't know any about the Google sites. And I still remember the teacher that Professor Liu 老师 and also the Chen 老师 and definitely the Zheng 老师 that teach us very patient, especially for us, never scared touch the technology. And then we learn from there. And then we are so appreciate that and that we have this kind of not only technology, those things that instruction, those things, the skill. So we are able to facing how to flexible during the pandemics and then until now. So I just want to add on and thank you again.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Yu 老师, for your comment and for sharing with us. We need to respect every teacher's time.